Hey you, and welcome to What's Next with Morale. So today I want to ask you a question that would probably make you feel a little bit uncomfortable, but that's okay. We're getting into uncomfortable spaces. I know it made me feel uncomfortable when I had to ask myself this question, but I wouldn't be the person that I am today or where I am today if I didn't finally sit down and ask myself, who are you without everything you do for everyone else? Without the roles, without the responsibilities, without the titles that you carry, just you. As a woman, I've realized that we've learned to master how to be everything for everyone. But somewhere along the way, we've lost connection with who we are outside of that. Sound familiar? Does that sound like a space that you're in right now? I know, because I myself lived in that space for the longest time, where mother, wife, partner, leader, professional career sounded all perfect, felt good, but quietly, I still felt like I didn't know myself anymore. Could this be you? You're a mother, you're a wife, you're a partner, your career is top notch, but somewhere deep inside of you, you don't recognize who you are anymore. Your life is full, but something in you feels maybe disconnected. And it's not that you're ungrateful, or it's not that you don't love the people in your life, because you obviously do. But it's just that you've been carrying something for so long, and you've carried these responsibilities and these titles for so long that you haven't actually had space or the time or a moment to truly reflect and ask, what do I need? What do I enjoy? What makes me feel alive again? And I think sometimes we don't ask those questions because we don't really know where to begin. You wouldn't know where to begin if you had to ask yourself, who are you? Does it start in your early adulthood? Did it start as a teenager? You wouldn't know where to begin figuring out who you are. And maybe that's why we don't ask ourselves these questions. But I want to shift our focus a little bit to a portion of scripture. You'll actually find it throughout the Gospels, where Jesus withdraws from the crowd, not because he didn't care, but because he needed a moment to reconnect with God. So here we have Jesus, who carried purpose, responsibility, and the weight of people, and still stepped away to be not needed. He still stepped away to not perform, to not do the things that people expected him to do. And I think this is something that we often overlook, is that we need to step away from things that are expected of us every now and again and just be present in the moment. And maybe for you, I know for me, it was something I had forgotten how to do, because I started believing that my value only came from the things that I could do, or in the places where people needed me, or what I could provide, or the services I could provide to people. And I started believing that that's where my value was. But that's not how God created us. God didn't just create us to function from day to day. He didn't create us with a task list. You got to do this, 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 this. Next week it's this, 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 that. That's not how God created you. God created you to be whole, to be fulfilled, to know who you are in Him and outside of the things that you do. He created you to love your passions and your desires, the things that make you you, the things that make you alive. That could be your family. That could be your job. But maybe that means you having quiet time for yourself, taking a walk out in nature, going on a vacation, following your dreams and your desires. That's part of you being whole as well. So let me ask you this question again, but differently. If all the roles you had were quietened for a moment, and if nobody needed anything from you, who would you be? Would you rest? Because your life has just been this one hustle, rat race, day in and day out, where you just got to provide and do and give. If you put that aside, would it mean that you find time to rest? Would it mean that you would create? Maybe you're somebody that likes singing. Would you begin to sing? Maybe you're an artist. Would you begin to create artistry? Create stuff that is deep down inside of you. Inside of you. Would you dream again? Fulfill the dreams that you had for your life when you were a little girl. I want to be, I don't know what it is that you want to be, And now in this moment is a time for you to go back to that little girl that had dreams and say, what is stopping me from dreaming again? What is holding me back from dreaming again? Would you finally find a moment to exhale? Because you've come to this moment in your life and you've realized, okay, after all is said and done, after I've given it all, after I've said it all, after I've advised all, after I've provided all, can I finally take a moment to just exhale and breathe? Is that what being you would look like in this season? I know for some of you it would probably feel strange because you're so used to having your boxes ticked each and every day. You've been in go mode, in hustle mode for so long that taking a moment out to just be you, to just find you, to just live you would actually probably feel strange for you. And don't get me wrong, this is not a call for you to abandon your responsibilities. We all have responsibilities in life. And yes, we all got to be responsible with our lives. But being responsible is also remembering that you are more than what you carry. You are more than what you provide. You are more than what you do for others. You're still a person with desires, with thoughts, with emotions, with depth, outside of what you can give. And maybe what's next for you is not doing more. Maybe it's reconnecting with yourself again, slowly, gently, without pressure. Maybe it's taking a few moments to ask yourself questions that you've been avoiding, like this very question, who are you? Or maybe it's giving yourself permission to exist without performing for just a little while, without being mom, without being wife, without being CEO, businesswoman, but just being you. Taking a day for yourself, taking a moment, taking an hour. I don't know how long it is that you probably need to find who you are, but it's important for you to do that. You deserve to know yourself again. You deserve to know who God has created and called you to be again. And not just who you are to others, but who you are when it's just you, yourself, and God. So this was a question that I thought, let me put it out there today, because there's a woman who's probably felt like me, who lost herself in titles, who lost herself in roles, who lost herself in being everything to everybody, and had to go back to that little girl and start dreaming again, and start believing again, and start sitting with me again and saying, God, who am I? Who am I? So if this reflection felt or nudged something within you today, maybe this is your day. Maybe this is a call for you to find time once again, to find you, to reconnect with you. Put the roles aside for a while. Put the titles aside for a while. And find out who you are. And you'll be surprised that you might love the person that you actually are. I know I do. This person that is becoming and developing and unfolding right before my eyes, I get to discover her, I get to know her, I get to fall in love with her. And different versions and sides of her every single day. So try it. Thank you for sitting in this thought, in this reflection with me today. I hope it begins to challenge you to do the work that you need to do in the season of your life. And I cannot wait to sit and reflect with you in the next episode. And remember always that you don't need the whole plan to take the next step. You just need one step and you'll get to the full plan. See you in the next reflection.